Greetings and thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm going to be talking about a very exciting topic. It's the five languages of apology. The five languages of apology. Now, you may be familiar with the five love languages. The five love languages, a book written by Dr. Gary Chapman, who did many years of research, and he found that couples were particular about receiving love in a specific way, and he was able to characterize these in five separate categories. These are words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch, acts of service, and receiving gifts. So, a person who was categorized as words of affirmation being their top love language, that person may score on a quiz, let's say 50% of their preferred way of receiving love is through words of affirmation. But they might score 20% on quality time, or 10% on acts of service. And so there's a bit of everything in each person. But the idea or the concept of the five love languages is that individuals score highest on one particular thing. And as a spouse, it's a good idea to understand what your spouse's love language is, and then focus on that in terms of letting your spouse really knows that you love them, and to communicating to them, whether through your words or physically, or in whatever way you can, in a way that lets them understand that that's the way you are expressing your love to them. And Dr. Chapman found it was a really successful way of really building strong love relationships with your spouse. Now, today, as I said, we're going to be focusing on the five languages of apology. The concept is quite similar, and there's a quiz that I'm going to go to at the end, and you're going to have the privilege of watching me go through that experience. Very interesting experience. So we'll do that together. But before that, I want to share with you how not to apologize. Me and Caroline love Anne of Green Gables, and Shirley, and from Prince Edward Island, and she's so funny. And it's a story about a girl who was adopted, by these two kind of spinsters, and they it's just a wonderful story. So I'm going to share with you a quick clip about Anne of Green Gables apologizing to Miss Lind, because Miss Lind came over and she saw Anne for the first time, and she was not very complimentary. And Anne just didn't let hold back. She just let loose and just really responded to Miss Lind in a very kind of um, aggressive way, and that called for an apology. And so Anne decided to apologize in the best way she knew how. And this is the clip. Have a look.
Good morning, Rachel. Anne has something to say to you.
Mrs. Lind, I'm extremely sorry I behaved so terribly. I've disgraced my good friends who've let me stay at Green Gables on trial, even though I'm not a boy. I am wicked and ungrateful, and I deserve to be cast out forever. What you said was true. I am skinny and ugly, and my hair is red. What I said about you was true too, only I shouldn't have said it. Please, Mrs. Lind, forgive me. You wouldn't be so cruel as to inflict a lifelong sorrow on a poor orphan. Please, please forgive me.
There, child, of course I forgive you. I guess I was a bit hard. But you mustn't mind me. I'm known throughout these parts as a woman who speaks her mind. And don't worry about your hair. I knew a girl once who had hair every bit as red as yours, but when she grew up, it darkened into a real handsome auburn.
You have given me hope, Mrs. Lind. I shall always think of you as a benefactress.
Marilla, what this child needs is discipline and a proper education.
Okay, so I'm sure that we know that is not the way we apologize. So, how do we apologize according to the five the five R's of apology? Well, the first one is regret. First, we want to feel regret for the thing that we've done, acknowledge that we've done something wrong, and feel regret that we've done something wrong. Second is responsibility. We want to be accountable for that which we've done wrong. Third, we want restitution. We want to make restitution, which is to make it right in whatever way we can. It's not always possible, but we'll do our best. The fourth one is repentance. We want to change, and repentance is the way of doing that. And the last one is requesting forgiveness. So asking the person, please forgive me, and then allow them to be able to experience a bit of closure by doing that. So let's start with the first one then, regret. So in regretting, you do want to recognize that you've done something, or if it is an act of omission, you didn't do something that you should have done, which disappointed your spouse. And they didn't deserve that. And so that's not a part of the deal. And so you want to acknowledge that you did something wrong, and you want to apologize and fix this situation. So the first thing you want to do is acknowledge that you did something wrong and then feel some remorse for that. The second step is to take responsibility. You will remember from the four horsemen of the apocalypse, the Gottman study on those four destructive communication patterns, that defensiveness was one of them. And the antidote for defensiveness is taking responsibility, saying, yeah, I put my hand up, I was at fault, and I take responsibility for that thing. It's very, very important, and it's an important step of the 5 R's, the apology method of apology. Making restitution is the third one, and making restitution is doing what we can to make the situation right. Now, we're not deity. We can't go back in time, and we can't, correct all the bad things that we did, and then use, that knowledge to kind of go back in the future and say, "Yay, look, I'm perfect. I never made any mistakes." We don't have the opportunity to do that. But what we can do is we can make restitution. We can try to make right whatever we've done wrong, and that might mean a husband taking an opportunity to take his wife on a date on a different day than their anniversary, if it is the anniversary that he forgot about, which is a cardinal sin, guys. We don't want to do that. The fourth category of apology is repentance. And repenting involves changing. The root meaning of the word repentance is to change. So if you can imagine, you're going down a road and then you stop and you turn around and you go in a different direction, that is the definition of repenting. And so in the category, or in the concept of apologizing, repenting is to making sure that which happened, which was your fault, and you acknowledge, and you will not make it happen again. So it's making sure that which you've done, which was wrong, will not happen again. The fifth one is requesting the person to forgive you, to say, please forgive me. And this also allows the person to be able to experience, the aggrieved person to be able to experience some level of closure on the issue as well. And so that's kind of moving forward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go and take this quiz. I'm going to take this quiz and invite you to take it as well. You're welcome to do so. I'm going to put the link in the bottom. So yeah, join me. Let's have a look. All right. So I've come to the website, and actually this is the website for the 5 languages of apology. And so I'm going to take the quiz, and you're going to have the privilege of watching me go through this really wonderful experience. Okay, so first question. So the questions are, it's more meaningful to me when I hear someone say, so this is talking about being on the receiving end. I can only, being on the receiving end of the apology. I'm also going to be looking at it. You're going to obviously be looking at it also from being on the apology end. So the apology end, and as well as on the receiving end, you'll find that your mind will drift to both aspects. So first question: I deeply regret having embarrassed you like I did. That's a good one. It has a lot of regret in it, and so that's one of the R's. And one of the things as well is, as I go through these questions, you get an idea of what category on the 5 R's the question is aiming towards. So our relationship is really important to me. Will you please forgive me? So really, both of those are good. I like the idea that the relationship aspect here, so I'm going to go with that one there. Next question. It's more meaningful to me when someone says, okay, I admit it. I made a big mistake. Yeah, that's it's important to me when someone admits their mistake, and that the approach is what is nice. The second question is, I want to grow from this experience. Would you be willing to help me to figure out steps to handle this situation better? I like that. I like the second one there. Yeah, I like the idea that it involves the other person as well. So the first question is, what can I do or say to make this right between you and me? I like that. That sounds like restitution. The second response is, I had a bad attitude and it showed. I should have thought more about what I was doing. Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna go with that one there. For first response, I don't want to do this again, so I will come up with ways to avoid mistakes like this in the future. Like that. Second response, I apologize for my actions. You obviously don't have to forgive me, but I hope you will. Um, yeah, I like the first. I'm gonna go with the first one. Um, can you possibly forgive me? That's being direct and asking for forgiveness. The second response, what can I do to mend our relationship? I like that. I'm going to go with that one there. What can I do to mend our relationship? That's important to me, or it would be important to me. I totally messed up. I could make excuses, but really, I have no good excuse for my actions. I like that. That's taking full responsibility. The second response, you have every right to hold this against me, but will you please consider forgiving me? That's a totally messed up. Got no good excuse. I like the first one. It's about accountability, I think, and I like that. Response number one on this page. I'd like to make this better between us. What can I do to make this right? That sounds like that sounds like restitution there. You don't have to answer immediately, but will you consider forgiving me for this mistake? Um, uh, I'll, I'd I'd like to make this better between us. What can I do to make this right? I like that. I'll probably go with that one. The second response, you don't have to answer immediately, but will you consider forgive me for making this mistake? I'm going to go with the top one. I want to ask you to forgive me. Top one there. The second one is, it deeply pains me to see you hurting like this. I'm going to go with that one. There's a bit of accountability in that as well. I like that. I've really messed up this time. We missed the deadline because of me. That was the first response. Second one, can we back up and let me try to fix this? I really want to mend the damage I've caused. I like that. I like the second one there. Um, First response, I am upset with myself over how I handled our disagreement. I cringe when I recall the way I acted. I know that what I've been doing is not helpful. What would you like to see me change to make this better? I like that. I'm gonna go with that one there. Um, I know that what I did was wrong. Very straightforward, acknowledging the wrong and taking responsibility there. That's the first response. The second response here is, I'm so sorry. I feel terrible that I let you down. Yeah, I like that. We don't want to let people down. So, first response, what changes could I put in place so that you can begin to trust me going forward? That's a good one. I like the fact that it delves into trust. I hope this won't permanently damage our working relationship. Will you please accept my apology? I like them both. I'm going to go with the top one though. I can see my actions caused you pain and I feel terrible about what I did. Is there anything I can do to repair the damage I've created? Both are good. They're quite similar actually. Um, I'm going to go with the first one. Some of these they kind of merge into one for me. If I had only thought about what I was doing, I would have realized it was wrong. That's good. The second one, I know that I've caused you a significant amount of trouble. I would greatly appreciate it if you would forgive me. Yeah, let's get that one. Let's do that one there. I'm truly grieved and sorry for my actions plus the way they affected you. If I am ever again upset with you, I promise to gather my thoughts and approach you directly and respectfully. Uh, I'm gonna go with the top one there. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. That's the first response. Second response, I simply should not have done that. Yeah, the second one is just so kind of, direct and it gets straight to the point. First response, I realize talk is cheap. I will work to show you that I'm changing. I like that. That's the first response. The second is there anything I can do to make up for what I did? I realize that talk is cheap. I will work to show you I'm changing. They're both kind of saying the same thing. I'm gonna go with the top one. I really am embarrassed about my behavior and so sorry. That's good. That's just, being quite straightforward there. The second response, no ifs or buts. I admit I was wrong. Yeah. I really am. I'm gonna go with the top one. Um, okay. I apologize. Will you please forgive me? That's the first one there. The second one, going forward, I will change. Second one, going forward, I will manage my time and prioritize my schedule so I won't have the same difficulties. Um, I'm gonna go with that there. Actually, uh, I might I might change that answer. Actually, let me do that instead. Um, I want so badly to avoid this type of error again. Let's talk about what I can do in the future to follow through on my commitments. The second one is I don't feel right just saying my bad. I want to make up for what I have done. What would you consider appropriate? I like that. I'm going to go with that one there. I know that my actions were totally unacceptable. I own that. Good one. It's very direct. It's taking accountability. The second one is it stresses me out to know that you had to stand there waiting on me. I regret the frustration and worry that I caused you. Both are good. I'm going to go with the top one though. I like the accountability aspect of it. I know that I've inconvenienced you. What can I do for you that could help balance things out? It's very restitution focused, the answer, that response there. The second one is I am unhappy with how I've hurt you. I am enormously disappointed in myself. Yeah, that there's a lot of feeling in the second one. I'm going to go with that one there. Um, First response, what can I do to make the situation right for you immediately? I like the determination in that and the willingness to act straight away. The second response, it may take some time to rebuild your trust in me. Meanwhile, I'll be willing to work hard on changes to prove that I am trustworthy. Beautiful. I like that. I'm just gonna go with that second one there. I'm sorry about that. I feel truly awful about having disappointed you. Sorry, I'm saying that's the first one. Second one, saying sorry doesn't feel like it is enough. What can I do or say to make it up to you? Going to go with that one. Next question. Next thought. I'm confident that everything I've learned from this bad experience will prevent me from doing it again. That's good. I like the repentance value in that one. The second point, I know what I did was inappropriate. No two ways about it. Um, uh, Shish, difficult. I'm gonna go with. I mean, they're both quite good. Okay, here goes. All right. So these are my responses. So the first one, it seems to be my highest uh, language of apology is planned change, rising at 32%. Then it is followed by expressing regret, that's 24%. Make restitution is 20%. Accepting responsibility is 16%, and requesting forgiveness is down there at 8%. Well, guys, I am going to leave the link down in the box. You're free to come and run the 5 apology styles test yourself and see where you find yourself. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.